Alrighty, so for this kind of Punnett square, this one is known as codominance. For this particular kind of Punnett square, the codominant ones, you guys are only going to be looking at examples that have to do with blood type. So if you happen to know your blood type, you might be blood type A, type B, type AB, or type O. And I know that there's positive and negative associated with that, but for the sake of this Punnett square, we're only going to be focusing on the letters, not the positive and negatives. So if you go through this top paragraph, it gives you lots of important information, such as background information about the antigens, which is what determines that A and B, again, your blood type. But I want to focus on the important stuff for Punnett squares. Please make sure that you go back and read this information on your own. The most important thing to take out of this for the sake of Punnett squares is what letters you're going to be using. So right here it says the letter I is used to represent the blood type gene. So we're focusing on the letter I. The allele little I, lowercase I, is recessive, so we're going back to uppercase and lowercase. But notice that while the alleles I, capital I with a superscript A, and capital I with a superscript B are codominant and are both expressed if present. So coming back to what codominant means, this means that we have more than one dominant allele. We have two, in fact. And if both are present in somebody's phenotype, their physical appearance, then they're going to show both of them equally. Unlike an incomplete dominance, neither one is dominant, so you get something in the middle. This one is showing you that both of them are dominant, both of them are going to be shown in the phenotype. So now if we take a look at this information right here, this is a really good reference chart because it gives you the background information of the letters. So notice it's all I, and then again, little I is recessive. That's for not having any antigens. If you have a capital I with the A, that's dominant. You have antigen A, so on and so forth. So here's that unique codominant situation when you have both of them present in your genotype. So now for number 1, you want to write the genotype for each of these people that are being described using the information right next to it. This is super helpful because if you notice, it has your phenotype column. So that's like saying I have blood type O, I have blood type A, etc. And then your genotype column, which is all of the possible genotypes for that one particular phenotype. If you notice that for type O, it's only little I, which should make sense because O is the recessive blood type. So you only get little I. If you have type A or type B though, you have two possibilities. You could be something like the ones on the left-hand side, which I'm going to write this up here. These are homozygous dominant because you have capital IA, or the same thing but with the B. Or you could be like the ones on this side, which are heterozygous. So if you look at them, you'll notice it's capital IA, little I, capital IB, little I. And then this is that unique codominant situation where you have both present. So as you can imagine, having blood type AB is actually pretty rare because not everyone is going to have that codominant situation. So now, if we come back to question 1, you're going to write the genotype for these 4 different people being described. The first one is saying that you are homozygous. So, homozygous means the same for the B allele. So the way that you go about this, you come over to the chart and you look, okay, so I need to look for B. There's B right there, and I'm homozygous. So you need to determine which one is the homozygous one, and it's going to be that one on the left because you have the same alleles. So that one is going to be capital IB, capital IB, okay? So I'm going to have you finish the second and the third one on your own, but I want to talk about the last one because a lot of people were confused about that one. So this one is telling you that the person has type A blood. So you look at that and you say, okay, this person has type A. I only need to focus on the row for type A. but this person had a type O parent. So let's pretend that this person's, I don't know, mom was type O. If their mom was type O, then they only have little I as their genotype. Therefore, that is all that mom could give to that child. So if this person is type A and their parent gave them a little I, then there is only one option for this, and that is the heterozygous situation because they're type A. So I'm going to do big I with an A. And then they have a type O parent. This parent can only give little I. So therefore, they're going to give their child the little I. Okay. So now with regards to the Punnett squares, some things to keep in mind for this is that I will never make you do step 1 for a blood type 1 because that's basically this big old chart that you see here. So for number 2, you only need to complete steps 2 through 5. Please make sure that you do ratios because people keep forgetting to do them and it's incredibly frustrating. So let's take a look at what we need to do here. It says complete a Punnett square to show all the possible blood types for the offspring produced by, okay, so I got a type O mom and a type AB dad. The sex of the parents doesn't matter, so the mother and father, that's just extra information. But we do care about the blood types. So I'm going to write a little number 2 because I'm starting on step 2. So let's see, my mom is type O, which we've already established is little I. So that's parent number 1, and you're crossing it with parent number 2, who is type AB. So that parent only has that one particular genotype. So that's capital IA, capital IB. That is how you do step 2. So now let's do 3 and 4, which is to set up and complete our Punnett square. So I'm going to put one parent across the top, little I. I'm going to put the other parent down the side. And now I'm going to bring them together and fill in my squares. Remember the rule that capital letters always go first. So I'm going to fill in this box. And now I have my completed Punnett square. So what you guys should notice is that there's really only 2 possible genotypes. I'm going to be nice about this particular kind. So make a little note that for the ratios, only do what's in squares. If you did all the possible combinations, then you would be doing it for like 6 different genotypes, which is kind of painful. So we're not going to do that. So let's go ahead and set up our labels, geno and pheno. And now let's take a look at what we got. So we have this genotype right here, which is IA little I. We have this one right here, IB little I. Remember, 4 boxes, so it's going to be out of 4 on the denominator. And how many are for this one? I have 2 out of 4. How many for this one? I have 2 out of 4 as well. Now for my phenotype, this one's pretty easy. All you have to do is write the blood type. So if this person has this genotype, they're going to have type A. This person is going to have type B. How many people out of 4 have type A? According to my Punnett square, 2 out of 4 will. How many people will have type B? 2 out of 4. And that's how you do the codominant Punnett square.